Hi, this is Habibur Rahman, and welcome to my show Azure Essential series. This is episode 3, and we will be talking about mastering Azure Blob Storage. Okay, so first of all, we will talk about blob storage introduction. Then we have types of blob storage. Uh, then we will talk about security and encryption features provided by blob storage. And then we will have hands-on experience with ASP.NET Core MVC. We will integrate with a sample application and we will talk about real world use cases. So this is your host Habibur Rahman, and I'm two-time C Sharp Corner MVP, Microsoft Certified Solution Developer, and currently working as a lead software developer at Now Software. So let's start this. First of all, the first of the main thing about Azure Blob Storage is scalable. So you don't have to be worried about the scalability of Azure Blob Storage. It doesn't matter how many requests you need or how many users need to access your data. It's always scalable. You can duplicate your data on multiple regions. Also, it's a durable storage option, so you don't have to be worried about the durability of your storage. Every time user will access will get the same results. Then secure object storage solution. Azure provide us different encryption and security options, and using that you can handle your access of your storage data. So it's secure to use. Then we have a large amount of data. Azure Blob Storage is good for storing large amount of data, especially for images or files or any type of binary data. You can store gigabytes or terabytes of data. Then you can also store unstructured data, text or binary data. So it also supports all types of data in Azure Blob Storage. The main pros of Azure Blob Storage is flexible storage tiers. So it means Azure Blob Storage provide us different storage tiers with different rates, and all these storage tiers have different options. For example, first of all, we have hot storage tier. If your data is accessible a lot of times by different users, and it means you have a lot of traffic, then the best option for tier is hot storage. Then you have a cool, which is basically less expensive than a hot storage, and your data is accessible by users very normally, not too much frequently. And then we have an archive tier. If your data is archived for a large time span, then archive is the best option because it have cheaper pricing options as compared to hot and cool. So these are different tiers available. Then we have work seamlessly with Azure CDN. So basically, you can host or you can add your static data or static assets of any website on your Azure Blob Storage, and then it can be connected with Azure CDN for more optimized content delivery. So it works seamlessly with Azure CDN. Then we have data analytics. You can integrate your Azure Blob Storage with Azure Data Lake Storage. So it means you can generate different analytics and reports on the basis of your data, which can help you to make your different business decisions, and it's very easy to use. Then we have sports point in time restore and automatic backups. For all Azure infrastructure, you can use Azure Blob Storage for saving your database backups or virtual machine backups or any type of backup inside Azure Blob Storage, and you can restore just by clicking few options. So this is the main benefit of Azure Blob Storage. Then we have different types of blob storage. First of all, we have a blob. It is basically used for text and binary data storage. It's ideal for saving files, images, videos, and backup data. And it supports large files, large volume of files, and Azure Blob Storage can break them into smaller blocks for easy upload and easy download. So there are different options available. Then we have append blobs. It is basically optimized for append operations. It is good for the solutions where you have to upload or you have to append your data constantly into your Azure Blob Storage, and it can provide you feature for adding new blocks into your blob existing blob storage files. So this is very good approach, and you can use this for telemetry data or any logs data. Then we have a page blob. This one is basically optimized for random operations, read and write random operations. So that's why it is used for virtual hard disks of your Azure virtual machines. So you can use this. Then it provide consistent byte optimization for frequent read-write access. So these are different blob storage types. In our session, basically, we will be working on block blobs, and we will be integrating with ASP.NET Core MVC solution. Then we have few security and encryption features provided by Azure Blob Storage. And first of all is server-side encryption. So when you are uploading your data to your Azure Blob Storage, Microsoft Azure will automatically encrypt your data, and then save it. And whenever you are retrieving your data, it will decrypt it and resend to you. So this is the encryption provided by server side by Microsoft Azure Storage. Then we have different encryption options while request transit, and one of them is HTTPS. So you can use a hypertext transfer secure protocol for accessing your files over the network, so that no one can interrupt your data or encrypt your data. So this is the transient option. Then we have access control. So there are different options by using which you can apply different permissions on your Azure Blob, so that you can provide access to other colleagues or other systems. And one of them is shared access signature. It's a basically token generated, and this token is basically used for accessing your blob storage instead of using client token. So this one is used. And then we have role based access control. Microsoft Azure Blob Storage can be integrated with Azure Active Directory. So we can provide different roles and groups with different permissions, and they can access our Azure Blob Storage. Then we have stored access policies. We can make different policies where we can allow or deny specific IP addresses or different network rules which can access our blob data. Then we have network security. We can integrate Azure Blob with Azure Virtual Network, and we can also create private endpoints which are only accessible to that specific user. We can also have Firebase firewall rules. Firewall rules can apply different permissions or different accessibility settings on your IP address or port, and only those IP addresses can access your data. So these are different options. Then we have audit and monitoring. You can use Azure Monitor with Azure Blob Storage. This option basically use telemetry data for monitoring your storage account. Then we have a security center which provides different insights about the securities, and if there is any risk, it will create an alert to you. Then we have activity log. Activity log basically record all the operations which are being performed on your Azure Blob account. And those operations can be any create, update, or delete operation. Any operation which is happening on your storage account will be logged here. And few real world use cases. For example, you have a media website. you have large videos and large files which are rendering on your website. So you can use Azure Blob for that purpose. You can also use Azure Blob for backup and disaster recovery if and you can automatically uh, takes backups on different time interval of your system, and then if there is any mishappening, you can recover your system from blob storage. You can also host your static websites on Azure Blob Storage, and you can integrate it with CDN for providing a more optimized solution. You can also use this for archival storage. For example, you have a hospital or any clinic where you have to record your patient's data for many years. So this is the best option. You can create an archive tier, which is basically cheaper as compared to other options, and you can archive for many years on Azure Blob Storage. So these are few real world cases. Now I will move to the practical session of our show, where we will create an ASP.NET MVC application, and inside that application uh, we will be accessing Azure Blob Storage. Before moving to this solution, let me share you the directory or the GitHub repository where I'm storing my code. So this is basically a repository. You can access it, a Beep developer dash slash Azure Essential series. So you can access it. It's a public repo, and for each branch, I have a different. For each row, I have a different branch, and inside that branch, I have a new project, which basically contains the code of our show. So let's move to this. I already have created an ASP.NET MVC application. This is basically currently an empty application. So I will move with this. First of all, the main thing I need to do is I need to install a Nugget package for Azure Blob Storage. So I will install a package. It's basically azure.storage.blob. So this package is provided by Microsoft. I already have installed this, so you just need this package to access your Blob Storage account. So this package is already installed. Currently, I'm using Azurite, which is basically Azure Storage account emulator. So I already have a connection with that. If you are interested to connect with your local storage account, you can click on this option and then storage Azurite emulator. If you will click on next option, you need to provide your custom connection string name and the option where you want to store your keys. And if when you will click on this, it will create a connection with Azurite. So, and I'm also using another tool, which is basically Microsoft Azure Storage Explorer. So this tool basically helped me to explore Azure Blob Storage. Currently, I have three blob containers. So let me explain the structure of your blob account. First of all, we have a storage account on Microsoft Azure, and inside that account, you have three options. Four option. One is blob container. We have file shares, we have queues, and then we have tables. If we move to a blob storage, and inside blob storage, the next option is blob containers. Containers are just like your virtual directories where you can save data of different things. For example, you can create one container for saving profile images. You can create another container for saving other media file. So let's create a blob container here. And in this case, my blob container name is my images. Okay. So I will be using this container for saving my data. Currently, there is no data inside this blob container, and I will upload a file, and its type is image. and I have one code file. Uh, Let me upload it. So currently it's uploading my file. So my file has been uploaded. Okay. Let's move to the code where I will write a code for accessing my blob storage. First of all, I will create a new controller. This controller will be an empty controller, and I will name it media control, or I can say image controller. So images controller. I will be using this controller for uploading, previewing, and then deleting different blob storage files. Okay, so first of all, I need I need to create a blob client. So this client will be uh, I will say blob client service. This client will be using I will use this client for accessing blob storage thing. Let me create a new constructor, and inside this constructor, I need to create a blob service client, and inside this, I need to provide my connection string. As I am using Azure, so I can just use this setting, and it will automatically connect me with local development storage account. Uh, okay, this was the first option of creating client. So my client has been initialized. The next option is creating a container client. I already have created a container. So now I will connect with that container. So this is blob container client, and in my code, I will initialize container client, and inside this client, I uh, I can also call this blob client dot get blob client container, and here I need to provide my container name. So let's create a constant here for my container name, and my container name is my images. Okay. Now pass this container name into get blob container client function. I will say container name. So my basic infrastructure is ready. Now next option is I need to get my blob containers files inside this index action. So let's write this container client that get blobs. So this function will get all the blobs which are currently uploaded inside my images container. I will pass this blobs to my ASP.NET MVC view. And as you can see, its type is Azure pageable and then blob item. So let's create a new view. This view basically will be showing a list of all the Azure blobs inside my container. So I will now write my code here. First of all, I need to bind my model that was Azure pageable and then blob item. Okay, okay, this is my model. Now next, I will make a table for showing all the blob storage. I'm using basically Bootstrap. So I will put a class so that it looks a little bit good. So this is my header, and inside header, first of all, I have a blob name, and then I will have different actions which I can perform on my blob storage. Next, I will iterate over my model, and in each iteration, I will create a new row and inside row I have to show item dot name. So this will basically show the name of my blob files. So let's run it and see whether it is working okay or not. Okay, so my project is building. Okay, let's move to the route images. And here you can see the latest downloaded images showing here. So currently I'm just showing the names and later on I will show you how to preview this file. Let me upload one more file so that you guys can have an idea. Okay, I have different codes. I have a code snippet. So let's upload it. Currently it's uploading. Okay, uploaded successfully. Now if I refresh, oh, you can see that currently I have two blob items in my container. Okay, so this is the first option. Now next option is I will create a detail page or I will create a preview page where I will show my blobs file. So I will be getting blob name as an input parameter of my action, and inside this I will be accessing my blob container. So here I will call get blob client, and inside this I need to provide blob name. So this is basically blob client. Then I will call a blob client function, which will basically generate a URL. So basically, I will be able to access my image using this URL. This function needs an permission parameter, and where I can set for which permission or which things will be available on this URL. So currently, I need to read the file only. So I will make it read this. Mhm. Currently, it's giving me an error. So uh, basically, I also need to provide the expiration time as well. So this expiration time basically, okay, this expiration time basically tells when you want to expire your URL. So my URL will be generated for 1 day. So it means using this generated URL, user will be only able to access the file for 1 day. Now let's pause this to view back so that I can read this inside my details section. Let's create another view, and inside this view, uh, its name is details. Okay. Now simply I will create an image here, and this image will be using URL from my view back. So this is a simple view which will be rendering my image. Okay. Next option is add a button here, an anchor tag, and this anchor tag basically whenever user will click on this, it will redirect us on details page, and details page will be showing us. Need to provide my parameter here, which is Azure route blob name. So here I will provide item dot name. Okay. So this is the. Now let's run this and see whether it works or not. Okay, let's move to images controller. Click on preview. Okay, so you can see that the image is showing inside my details page. So this is how you can preview your files, or you can access or share your files with other users. So this is first option. You can also download your file. So let's move to that option. You can also download your file, and inside this, first of all, basically you have to download the file from Azure Blob Storage account, and then you can pass that to your file action, which will basically do downloading in ASP.NET MVC. So let's go to that. I will also create another function, and this function over the file. Okay, so most of the code is same as like this. So I will be copying this, and here I will say download. This section will also get blob name, and then it will create a blob client. When blob client will be created, then we will call download option. So I will remove this code, and I will call download option. So there are different functions available. You can download content, you can download streaming, and you can download two option. So I will be using download two option, and inside this I need to provide a memory stream. So I will create a new stream. For example, I will say var ms is equal to memory stream, and now I will pass this memory stream to my download function. So now when I will call my download to function, this will download the file and will save it inside my memory stream. Next, I need to set my stream position to 0, so that again I can read data from my memory stream. And here, instead of returning view, I will be basically returning a memory stream where I need to provide content type, and then basically the content type I can say is application slash octant stream. And then here I need to provide the file name. So I need to provide the file name when file will be downloaded. So this name will be used by default. So I can say it blob name as well. So now I need to add a new button for download inside my action. So let's copy the same one. Just change the name for this download, and here I will say download. So let's run the code and see how it look like. Now if I move to images controller and click on download button, okay, a close stream. Basically the issue is that I have used the using parameter, and that's way I am unable to access my memory stream because it is disposed by .NET before it is accessible inside this file option. So let's remove the using option and see how it look like. I hope it should work now. Now go to images, download. So you can see that my file have been downloaded, and if I open the file, it is showing properly. So this is how you can download your files as well in ASP.NET Core MVC using Blob Storage. So the next option is providing an upload option. So I will create, or I will rename my create action to upload, so that I can upload a new file using my application into Blob Storage account. So I will change it to upload, also rename this comment. Okay. Let's remove this extra option of the edit. Okay, for uploading in ASP.NET MVC, first of all, I have to create a post option, and this post option will be getting I form file, and I form file name will be file. So this is the input parameter that I will be using for getting the file data from form. And now here I will call container client dot upload blob option. Inside upload blob option, I need to provide two things. First of all, I need to provide blob name. Blob name will be basically the file name, and using this, I will be able to access this file. Then we have content. Inside content, we can provide a stream or we can provide binary data. So I will be providing a stream here. First of all, I need to provide the file name. So here it is file name. And so I'll basically using file name as a blob name. Then I need to get the stream. So I will call open read stream. So this will provide a stream to the upload blob function, and upload blob function will save it to the Azure Blob Storage account. Put a condition here. Basically, sometimes user call or upload the folder or upload the form without adding the file. That's why we also have to provide a condition here. And so if my file is null or the length is 0, so it means file is not uploaded or properly, then I will return from here and I will say bad request. Okay. And if everything is okay, upload that blob to this. And after that, redirect the user to the index page so that he can see the newly uploaded file. Okay. Now, the next option is create a new view for this upload action. And inside this view, I will create a form. This form basically will be using for uploading files. I need an input, and this input type will be file. Give a name here so that we can map it. The name is file, and you can also provide form control class here. I also need to put a button here, and this button type will be submit, and you can say here save. Now I also need to provide the action on which I want to submit this form, and that action name is upload. I also need to provide ink type. Ink type is basically whenever you want to upload different type of data, instead of plain data or form data, you want to upload files, then you have to make this option as a multi-part form data. Then different data or files will be uploaded to your MVC action. Okay, so this is our form and this is our controller. Now let's click on run button and see how it look like. Let's close the extra tabs. Okay, now I'm going to images. Here currently I have two images, and now let's call upload action. So this is the option, and in first one I have to provide any image. For example, I have an image of my show that I need to upload, and then click on save button. So when I will click on save button, this will hit my upload action, and inside this upload action you can see my file. This is the content type of my file, and then I have file name, also have the description of the file, and then a stream of the file. So let's go to next step and upload the file. Okay, my file uploaded successfully, and if I continue, and I can see my newly uploaded file inside this list. If I see this inside Solution Explorer, Azure Storage Explorer, and let's click on refresh, you can see newly uploaded file is showing here. So if I click on preview button, you can see image is showing here. And if I see it using my preview option, it is also showing here. If I download it, and here it is showing. So this is how you can upload your file to blob storage. The other option, the next option which we will implement is delete option. And this delete option basically will be deleting my blob file from storage account. So let's change it with a string. Basically, I will be getting blob name here. I no need to get a form collection here. And I'm changing it to HTTP GET. Basically, it's not good approach, but still I'm changing it to HTTP GET so that instead of creating a new separate view, I can directly call delete action and the file will be deleted. Okay. Now inside this, first of all, I need to create blob client. So I will call it container client dot get blob client, and inside blob client, I need to provide blob name. If blob client is get successfully, then I need to call the delete function blob client dot delete if exist. Basically, I'm using this so that if file does not exist or file already have been deleted, no error comes to us. So this is how easily you can delete your file from Azure Blob Storage. Okay. Now let's move to the index page, and on index page I need to put a new action. This action basically will be delete, and the parameter name is blob name. As this is an HTTP GET request, so I have to provide the name here. So also provide the name here, name, make it delete. Okay, let's run it and see how it look like. If I go to images, so these are currently available images. Let's click on one of the file. For example, I want to delete this file. Let's delete it. Oh, currently it's giving me an error. Okay, so error is basically 400. Basically, it is a bad request. Let's try to delete another one. Maybe the parameter name is having conflict. Okay, that is fine. So let's go to the code and see what's wrong, why my action is not hitting. So this one is fine. The parameter name is fine. If I go to images and click on or put a breakpoint here. Oh, okay. So basically, this was an HTTP post action before, and validate anti-forgery token was applied here. That's why I was having an error. So currently, let's remove this. I don't need this. So let's run it again and see how it works. Okay, let's refresh this. Now, if I click on delete button, so now it's working fine. If I check the blob name, so this is the exactly blob name which is stored my inside my container. Let's get the blob client and then delete that file if that exists. And if I continue this, so here you can see that the file have been deleted successfully. So let's go to Azure Storage Explorer and refresh. So you can see that. the image have been deleted successfully. So this is how you can perform different operations. For example, getting blobs, getting list of blobs, uploading blob, and then deleting blob using ASP.NET MVC. There are a few other options available which I don't show you. For example, you want to create a new container using your C Sharp code. Currently, I have these four containers inside my blob account. So now I want to create another container and I will show you how you can manage this programmatically. So here you have got your container. The next option you need to call is container client and create if not exist. So basically, whenever you create a blob container client, and if that container not exists, then this will give you an error. But if you call this create if not exist, this will create a container for you if one container not exist. So let's change the images to, for example, I want to say it my images profile. Let's run this to see. Now, if I go to images, okay, currently no blob available. Let's see whether a new account have a new container have been created or not. Refresh it, and you can see that a new container have been uploaded. But currently there is no file, and this is my old container. Now let's upload one file and see whether this is working fine or not. Okay, let's upload this, save it, and let's upload another file. Sorry for not having upload button. And I will say this file, save it, then upload another file. Okay, this goat of the Denzel Washington. So here you can see all operations are working smoothly. No issue is coming, and you can see how it is easy to change the container. So now you can see file deleted. If I see this container, and you can see my file uploaded. So there is one other thing that I talk about. That was basically blob type. So if you upload any file using Microsoft Azure Storage Explorer, it show you different options. It show you blob. Basically, this one is best for saving images or videos. Then page blob and append blob. So these are different options. So in our code, we were basically using blob, and then you can target the different access tiers. And here you can see we have hot, cool, cold, and archive. So the first one is most expensive for storing data on Azure, and the last one is most cheaper on Azure storage account. So now it depends on whether what is the requirement of your system, how many times your data is being accessible by users. So using that, you can uh, select this option. For example, let's see with cold and upload a file, upload this code file. Currently file is uploading. So now if you see, first file was uploaded using hot tier and the new file is using cold tier. So like this, you can also handle your access tier. You can also handle this programmatically, and according to your requirement, you can use different access tier to reduce your cost of Azure Blob Storage. So I think so this is the best option that you can use. Then we have different metadata properties for your Azure Blob. For example, you can access the last modified date, you can access the content type, of the blob that you uploaded and whether this is active or not. You can also have a version of your file. For example, you are uploading the same file, and then Azure will automatically create a version for your file. You can have release date, you can have remaining days. So you can also add policies for your file where you can define how many days this file should reside on Azure Blob Storage account. So these are a lot of options available and you can explore them on Microsoft website. So this was our code. Let's push this code to Azure Blob Storage account. So I will say this performing upload, delete, and list operations on blob storage. Okay, let's push this code so that you guys can access it. Okay, code pushed successfully. Still pushing. Okay, that's it. Now, if I show you the repository, let's refresh it. And the latest episode is episode 3. So here, if you are interested to explore this code or you want to perform or you want to play with this code, you can access this repo and you can clone this code and you can use this for your learning purpose. And don't forget to give me a star if you like my repo and also share with others if they want to learn this as well. And let's move to the slides. So now if I see media and content storage, so basically I was working with this type of real world use case. So you can use any of them. So that was it from my side. If you are interested to learn more about and please register with our Islamabad chapter. So basically, inside Islamabad chapter, currently we are hosting this as your show. So you can subscribe and you can see the latest coming shows. So this is, uh, and thank you for being the part of C Shop Corner Islamabad chapter. And I hope see you in the next show next Saturday. Have a good day.